So, let's say that you possessed an 80s aerobics instructor / phone repair worker.
Uh-oh.
How's that going to manifest? How's her sketch changing?
Not going to be too much, because as you know, I'm a gym shark.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about that, and I say I don't love cops, but I do love cops, so that works out well.
You're pretty fond of cops, mate.
Pretty fond of them, to be honest. I don't see what any of the hubbub's about. I think it's I'd probably mostly just nip in the bud anything that's taking power away from me, the white man. So, because I feel like all of that really starts in the 80s, and I think if I played my cards right, I could probably just stop things from changing at all.
Oh, excellent! So a sort of possessed sort of Avenger, very fierce defender of the status quo.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like Captain America, but I'm gonna be at Thatcher's beck and call, and just really supporting Thatcher, I think.
Sure, Thatcherite Avenger.
The British way.
In a British way. And for anyone who's joined the podcast on this, making it their first episode, we actually don't think that.
Yeah, no, none of it.
No. Always crucial to remember that bit. Not everybody who listens knows us.
That's true.
Most do.
Most do. Most don't want to, but they do.
Most will find out, sooner or later. And that's where the real pain begins. Ninja. Hello and welcome to One Good Thing, the podcast that will beat any guy you like in your old neighborhood up. Just send us their postcode and a vague description. And we'll
screenshot them
figure it
out. Yeah.
We'll take care of it. I'm Paul Kosugi.
I'm a very important scientist.
Excellent. It's an episode ending in a 5, and you lust for what that means. Down the history hole. Down the history hole. And with only 5 definite history hole trips ahead of us, we've decided to tackle the most notorious, riotously fun bad movies that history has to offer.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and how could we start any other way than reacquainting ourselves with Messieurs Golan and Globus? That's right, it's canon time.
Oh no, is this a new jingle?
Yeah, I'll just play their one. And in lieu of the Brothers Barbarian, or any He-Men, we've decided to grab hold of the tail end of their epic ninja trilogy. It's Ninja 3, The Dominion. Excuse me. The Domination. I keep calling it The Dominion, for reasons that will become clear soon.
He is the most feared and powerful warrior. A ninja who breaks from ancient tradition and explodes onto America. His soul possesses the body of an innocent woman and transforms her into a lethal assassin. Her only hope is Yamada, the master ninja, who has been sent to destroy him. Where Revenge of the Ninja left off, Ninja 3 begins. An epic struggle of superhuman strength and supernatural forces. Ninja 3, The Domination.
YouTube also has it as Demolition for for reasons.
Demolition Man 2, American Ninja 3. Beautiful.
Starring Jackie Chan.
The canon group ignited worldwide interest in ninjas, or at least American-wide interest in American ninjas, starting with Enter the Ninja in 1981, a wonderful film starring the ultimate mustachio dad, Franco Nero, and directed by Menahem Golan himself.
Back when he was doing the dirty work.
Back when he was doing the dirty work himself and he didn't have a legion of Pauls to help him, the Paul brothers. But the breakout star was Sho Kosugi, who played the villain, having previously played Passerby in The Godfather Part 2, so he was already destined for greatness.
He was Passerby doing backflips and spinning nunchucks.
The very distracting sequence of Godfather 2. It's set in the old country. China.
The oldest country.
the oldest country. He was then in loads of Camp 80s action movies, including Revenge of the Ninja, the second movie in the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, that was an even stupider movie with a significantly cooler poster, directed by Sam Furstenberg, who was basically just a Canon guy who kind of struggled to find work after the Canon group fell apart. But, whilst he was with Canon, he made Avenging Force, Delta Force 3, The Killing Game.
Force.
Force, The Cyborg Cop. American Samurai.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Cyborg Cop 2.
When you least expect it.
And infamously, he made Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Well, of course he did. That's where I remember his name.
That's where we all remember his name, from the posters we had in our childhood bedrooms.
I was hoping for a roster of failed attempts to make American Ninja, like American Samurai, American Judo Champion,
American Musketeer.
Yeah. None of them. None of them any
went
good.
Very
until
highbrow
the Ninja
with that one. I can't believe the Marquis of de Lusignan became aware of the love letter from his mistress. It's a devastating day for Franco Nero.
I'll say it.
My favourite bit of trivia for the second film is that they were due to shoot in LA, but couldn't afford the permits, police protection, and fire marshals and location fees. So Utah were like, hey, you don't need any of that here. And we're fiercely anti-union. So they moved filmmaking to Salt Lake City.
American heroes.
Mormon country, where you can do whatever the fuck you want. That inevitably brings us to Ninja 3, The Dominion. Directed by Domination. Fuck.
I didn't even pick it up that time.
I wrote it into my notes. Is how ingrained this is. Jesus Christ. Yes, directed by Furstenberg again, and starring Sho Kosugi again, who also provides choreography again. But otherwise, this is an entirely unrelated film.
Oh, okay. This doesn't matter.
No, none of them are connected in any meaningful way, except for Sho Kosugi shows up.
Okay, and psst, everyone, especially new listeners to the podcast, nothing matters.
Nothing matters actually in the end. It turns out.
That's
a late bit of you know those videos, 15 things you wish you knew at the beginning of Zelda Breath of the Wild, things you wish you knew at the beginning of life. Nothing matters.
Nothing matters, mate.
Which means everything can matter. It's up to you.
And there is a period where you believe that, so seize it, make the most of it.
Get your butt out, run about the place.
Because very soon nothing matters.
Yes. Now, in interview with Rob Hill for the Bad Movie Bible, first director Furstenberg says that Golan wanted to make a ninja movie with a female lead, but Sho Kosugi insisted that women did not receive ninjutsu training and have no strength for all the ninja action. So they had to come up with something that would appease Kosugi, but still allow for a female lead. Well, what's the most explicable reason why a woman might be able to do ninja stuff? I know!
So, wait, I'm just trying to pass what you just said. Yeah. So, what he insisted that... Okay, so he insisted upon the notion that women inherently lack the strength required to become a martial arts master.
A ninja.
A ninja, specifically. Okay. Whereas you and me, mate, we've got...
any bloke. Literally any bloke could do it.
Get up, scratch my ass.
But a bloody woman.
Find a shuriken up there. Yeah. Okay, good. Well...
Yeah. Bad times.
True words, bad times.
True words, bad times.
And not true words. Okay, so Sho Kosugi, is he the bad ninja or the good one?
He's the one with the eye patch. Good one.
Oh, okay. That's a shame because,
that is a shame.
As the goodie in the movie, sort of goodie.
Yeah. Maybe he was a product at the time, and maybe as a result of coming up with such a bizarre conceit in order to allow for a female ninja, our bloody lead proved him bloody wrong.
Hopefully. Probably not. He probably took that prejudice with him to the grave.
Well, you never know. I don't know if he's dead. That's beyond my pay grade. But I'll tell you this. He's dead. So, in a surprisingly positive review, Julian Petley wrote in the January 1985 Monthly Film Bulletin, that was the BFI's review periodical before it was merged with Sight and Sound in the 90s.
Before it was murdered.
before it was murdered by Jeffrey Julian Petley, said,
Click, Roger Ebert.
disproving the rule that sequels never improve on their predecessors, Golan Globus's Revenge of the Ninja, that was the second one, was surprisingly enjoyable.
Okay.
Revenge dispensed with the original's would-be exotic travelogue gloss and rather limp narrative to deliver instead an imaginatively staged, fast-moving, all-action spectacle. This paring down process is taken a stage further here, so that Ninja 3 comes across as nothing less than a relentless, no-holds-barred live-action comic strip.
Nothing less.
Nothing less than that.
Nothing less than all the things that were said.
Possibly more, even, but nothing
Wow.
less.
But
Yeah.
definitely nothing less.
He also said this incredible line, "Not since Toby Hooper's Funhouse has film explored the fantastique possibilities of Dolby Stereo to such effect." Wow.
The first half of that sentence and the second half don't match in terms of grandeur.
Look, I don't know if you saw Toby Hooper's Funhouse, the slasher movie set in a funhouse / freak show, but it really pushed the limits of Dolby surround sound.
It really pushed the limits of teletext, mate.
It was never the same again or since. Now, public, meanwhile, when they black out, I don't know what to believe in.
Amen.
Amen. Edison Smith, who may or may not be the same Edison Smith, who is the editor-in-chief, or Edison-in-chief, for VHSRevival.com.
I get it.
But that Edison Smith did also review Ninja 3, which would be a pretty big coincidence if two Edison Smiths reviewed Ninja 3.
Would it, or is the conspiracy there in the edifice?
It could be, but
I'll work
BBC
on
Radio Tyneside Paul Salt hasn't reviewed jack shit. And that excellent moral philosopher Paul Goodman from the 50s, not a knob gag in his whole CV, mate.
And he's dead.
And he's dead. Prick.
So
Anyway.
fucking take that.
A. Edison Smith at Google said, "Successfully blending action, romantic comedy, and supernatural horror as an exercise in the wonderfully absurd. Ninja 3 The Dominion is in a category all by itself. The only problem is, where do I go now from here? Where do any of us go now from here, my friend?"
Filter sung it best. But I would say,
Oh,
to go to the kitchen for a sandwich.
a sandwich to help wash down the delicious lashings of Ninja 3 The Dominion.
My throat's so dry. This sandwich is supposed to wash it down.
Just get it in your face. And shut the fuck up.
Please.
Ninja 3 The Dominion has 5.4 on IMDb, 40% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a truly deserved 91% on Google. So cool, you Miss Independence.
Let's find this dude.
What's one thing about Ninja 3 The Domination that made you want to visit the Eiga region in Japan?
Well, I hope I can play some golf there, mate.
Oh, I hope so too.
You know what they say about golf? Freaking overrun with ninjas. And it's
Yeah.
nowhere is that more true than Japan. Home of the golf.
Sometimes you just don't know whether or not it's the correct etiquette to just follow through or fight the ninjas first.
And there's no right answer, really. And often most answers are wrong because you're dead. But
Yeah. Where's your head? You're dead. You went golfing, prick.
because you're dead, son, where's your head?
This truly
dead.
ranks
I told you.
amongst the best golfing sequences we've ever seen on OGT. And may I remind you, we watched Another Year.
That's true. That made us think too much, whereas this is pure golf.
This made me think much less. Yeah, so we start the movie with some golfing dudes who are out with their best gals, when suddenly a bloody ninja attacks them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only attacks them, but all of the bouncers and the security guards, and then the cops that eventually end up following him.
Yes, the entire police force shows up in order to protect these dear rich white men.
He's got 5 stars on Grand Theft Auto. And
He really did, because a helicopter shows up, and he's picked that out too. So he literally murders everyone.
yeah,
But
until the
unfortunately,
cops evilly
Yeah.
put a stop to this mass murderer.
yes, because eventually his advanced ninja technique of taking gunshot wounds to the face just doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah,
He lasts a long time. You can't say he was undercut on his training.
No, true. That's cashback, mate. He's one satisfied customer with the old immortality loop.
That learning addict's earned that $15.
But unfortunately for him, his soul, is slipping the mortal coil. But luckily for him, and luckily for one sexy breaking out of prison girl, who's also a phone line operator or just professional pole climber.
She is a pole climbing, phone fixing, aerobics instructor teaching Sarah Connor looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
And she's pretty great.
She's pretty great, and she sees, as we all do when we're out on the job, a ninja stagger into his death among the reeds, and she goes and sees what's going on. And he's only, we've all been here, ladies, but he's only a bloody immortal ninja of sorts that's looking to transfer his soul and powers into mine.
Oh, that's just a line he's using. That old trick.
No, seriously.
I am dying. But he does manage to transfer his consciousness into Sarah Connor. So she gets taken to the police station because she found the body that everybody was looking for.
Yeah.
And some guy's asking a bunch of questions. You know, did you shoot this guy 50 times? I'm pretty sure that was you.
I don't know.
You seem pretty suspicious to me. You just happened to be fixing a telegraph pole.
And there just happened to be one there. Near where we shot a ninja 50 times.
In this century, you're going to jail, lady. But Richard Gere comes over and it's like, come on, give her a break.
But also, hubba.
Well,
Hey there, toots.
I can see that you'd like to sleep with her, so all right then.
I'll hold the fort.
Just watch out.
Yeah.
I'll hold the other cops at the door. Jesus, that's not necessary. I'll do it. He loads of gun.
And she. Look, Paul. I'm not the best at reading signs from women, but she seems pretty keen on this guy. So while she's storming away,
telling him to fuck off.
Yeah.
And to die pigs.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just need to run.
Let me take you home.
No. Look, now get this straight. I don't go out with cops, all right?
The name's Secord. Billy Secord. I'll be in touch.
Oh, Christ.
In that way that ladies do.
Yeah.
She goes back to her life, really, and she goes to aerobics class, which includes Thomas Hayden Church. But then bloody Richard Gere is also here. Jesus Christ.
Will he not leave without having to take out some sort of legal injunction against him? He's ruining my life.
Oh my god, but where do I get that from? A cop. It's a vicious circle, and this guy needs to pay the price. Nevertheless, Thomas Hayden Church and his gang are hassling some girls. So she breaks out all that cool ninja shit she's got. Or it might just be aerobic shit at this point. It's hard.
Yeah, because she remembers it, so...
Yeah.
So it's not the ninja stuff, it's just her aerobic stuff. She's breaking out of prison, baby. Breaking out of prison, girl.
She is beating them up in a very perfect body style. Heavenly body style. And that's what we all want. But, unfortunately, she falls short of beating up the last bad guy, Richard Gere the cop.
Who's going to arrest her for being too sexy. So they drive around a bit.
That was basically assault back there. When there were a ton of eyewitnesses, it was assault, you've got to go on a date with me. Oh my god.
Look, I just don't...
Would you stop the car?
Oh, come on. I'm only teasing you.
Stop the car!
Look, Chrissy, I'm only trying to help. You get charged with assault for what you did to those guys.
Well, that's my problem. I don't need any help. Especially from you, Officer Secord.
You know, I am sick and tired about hearing how you don't like cops. Because I want to tell you something, Miss Independence. I like being a cop. And if you don't want to go out with me just because I'm a cop, then the hell with you, lady. You can go now.
Listen, I don't have any coffee in my apartment. But I do have some veggies. Would you like to take me home?
I just don't want to... I don't like cops, okay? I don't want to go out with you. Well, if you have so much of a problem with me being a cop, then you can just leave. Oh, it's not just being a cop. It's also the fact that I hate you. You're not... You don't have a personality. You're really creepy. Yeah. You won't respect my wishes. But you are pretty sexy now. You threaten me. So... Hubba hubba. Again,
Hubba. There go my values. And yeah, she gets off of him.
Yeah.
So... You have anger issues and are still a cop, but sure, let's go.
but you're clearly a good cop because you haven't you haven't beaten me up yet. So I can forgive all the other stuff.
One of the good ones. You haven't just shot me to death on a golf course yet. Still time, baby. So
yeah,
we have some nice 9.5 week style food sex, but all we have is V8 energy drink. Don't worry, we'll make it work.
I'm gonna make it work. Have you seen Showgirls?
Have I not seen Showgirls? So Paul Verhoeven's watching the sequence and it's like, yes.
You can make this weird.
After they've had sex, he goes snooping around in her belongings because he's a cop. And he finds the sword in the cupboard. And it's like, huh, what a coincidence! I just shot a guy with a sword just like this. Yes.
But look at these knockers, and he goes, whoa!
Oh
no! Hooray! I love them.
Terrible, he says. So he goes back to hassling her at work. Hate this fucking dude.
He's really bad.
He's a really bad dude. What have I got here? So she follows him back to his house. Oh, that's right. Yes. He shows up at her work just to, piss her off. And then he's got his partner with him, and she recognizes the partner from the shootathon in her ancient memory, because she's basically being possessed by the ninja, because that was the stipulation required to get Sho Kosugi on board with a woman knowing martial arts was. Oh, okay. Well, I guess now that she's possessed by the ancient spirit of a ninja, it's more realistic to me.
Now she can do things that all male ninjas can do, such as crush golf and pool balls with a single hand into dust.
Yes.
Great being a man. I'm so strong.
Yeah.
So she goes around and murders him.
Yeah, she murders him. That's good stuff.
Take that. That's for killing that mass murderer.
Oh, but not before Sword comes up to her and it's like, hey, we gotta go kill that dude. She's like, Sword? Oh. So she takes Sword up to the mountains to get all of his ninja stuff, then comes back to kill the cop.
I would have liked to see that scene.
Oh, God. Are you sure we need the stuff, Sword? I already have you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you gotta get my buddies. Nunchucks.
Nunchucks and top. And hat.
Well, speaking of hat, Richard Gere is incredibly hairy in a vest for a bit.
We love it.
Before he starts to notice that she might be going insane, so he recommends that she goes to a doctor. And the doctor's like, well, your diet is better than average. Great. And you're absolutely fine, except for your extraordinary sensory perception and preoccupation with Japanese culture.
You are under severe stress, of course. But otherwise, Dr. Bowen, the psychiatrist you saw, says there's nothing out of the ordinary. Aside from your exceptional extrasensory perception and your preoccupation with Japanese culture.
Does that show that on the chart?
It's off the fucking chart, mate.
It was
fucking
a very
weed. Get out of here.
So, she goes... She goes back to the police station for something else and notices George Costanza's dad from Seinfeld. And he also took part in the shootathon and is currently taking 2 women to a health spa.
From a police station.
Let's get out of here, baby. This is Officer Lewis and Officer Daniels. And they're off to go fucking a spa. Yeah. So, she just kills him and his dames, I think. Not much more to say about that. It's pretty good.
God damn it. Can't a guy have a soapy jacuzzi threesome in peace? With 2 women that he arrested?
Can't a police officer have a soapy police threesome in this hot tub in the middle of the day in a public space? There's no justice anymore. It's all gone too far.
Political correctness gone mad. Yeah.
It actually literally has when, dames are getting drowned.
That's true. That's a bit much, actually. This is like watching The Killer now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh...
Sho Kosugi was also here, by the way. He was just trying to relax at the spa, but then noticed Ninja Lady was here, so...
He noticed that there were women there, and he couldn't stand that, so he went to complain to the manager.
At some point, it gets decided that the best thing for her to do is go and visit somebody that the local Japanese swear by, a Chinese man, played by James Hong, of Everything fame.
Yeah. That's good to know. I mean, I think you're well aware, Paul, of when that's decided and how that's decided. It's in a scene where they say, "Should we do this?" Oh, all right.
Okay.
Next
James
scene.
Hong will be there. I'm on board.
Oh, okay. I'm way more on board now.
Yeah. They chain her to a wall. Do you have insurance, by the way, health insurance? Because that's going to affect the level of treatment that happens next Why did you bring this up only after I've chained her up? Never mind.
What? I can't hear you.
That's,
You're chained to a wall.
What? Let's just get on with it. So,
Please answer now. Is he in you?
Yes. He is. And he wants you to stop!
yeah, he summons the evil Japanese spirit that starts spinning about the place and doing a good Linda Blair impression.
Yeah.
And she says, "Untie me!" And James Hong goes to untie it. What are you doing? Well, I have to obey the spirit. That's a really bad deal. Why?
Why? Why didn't you, as well as the healthcare thing, why didn't you mention this one specific caveat before we did the whole release the spirit thing?
I'm indebted to all of the dead.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me very trustworthy. I owe them a lot. They helped me out a lot. They got me on Seinfeld.
There was this hooker that I killed in a hotel, and the mayor came in, and I was the mayor. I think it's actually sex worker now, mate. I'm a Chinese man playing a Japanese man. All right, just cut me some slack.
There was so many layers going on here.
Yeah, I know. If you're
so
new to the podcast, I didn't mean any of that.
We have to keep adding that proviso.
I hate that we have new listeners.
She spins around for a bit and then does everything wrong. But luckily, all that spinning really tires him out. So the spirit leaves, and she goes back to
tires him out.
It tuckers him out.
Can crush a golf ball in his bare hands.
But that was a lot of spinning, mate.
He has an inner ear problem.
Now, at this point, I don't know where this note belongs, but I've just got Sho Kosugi kicks a cop into the trash where he belongs. Very fiercely anti-police sentiment this week, mate.
Yeah, it's going that way. I've made a couple of jokes that weren't meant to be that, but in the context of this episode have sounded fiercely fiercely anti-cop.
Fuck the police is the thing.
Fuck the police. And the note I wrote for that moment was the good ninja has played thief and attempts stealth mode, which goes about as well as my attempts.
Excellent.
Yeah,
she basically lost consciousness and woke up with a load of bruises. Say what? And she's really cash about it. She's just like, say what happened back there.
Sir, can you tell me what happened?
Hypnotize you, that's all.
That's why all the bruises.
I passed out. Now I'm covered in bruises. Boy, it must have been a hell of an afternoon. You are the most chill lady.
It's a good thing I'm not going to tell you any truth about what happened. Okay.
Good thing I'm sure getting used to lying to you, baby. Oh, fucking 80s, man.
I'm going to go off and polish my sword. Love you.
So, yeah, it's time for our next two cops, though. Ernie Hudson and Barry Gibb.
Well, we know what happens then.
I think this is the point... Oh, God, my notes get sparse. She's Argentoing her way around the house a bit until she decides to dance her troubles away. That's it. Yes, there's demons coming for her. And she's trying to dance the troubles away, but then Sword comes in. It's like, oi, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Look at me.
Stop that. We're together now. Me and Sword. But I'm in love with that hairy guy. Are you?
Really? Do you want to think about that? Not really.
I don't do that. This is the 80s.
I'm dancing.
Hearts on fire. So she gets poltergeisted into the cupboard, which pretty definitively convinces it's all she really needs to attack a funeral.
And she does.
And I do wonder whose funeral this is, though, because half the police force died in the last 2 days.
It's a pretty big police force, mate. They've got at least 28 police officers in the Los Angeles Police County Department building.
They've got at least a helicopter and necessary crew, or they had.
You think they can't back up that helicopter, mate? They'll burn another helicopter on a 5-star villain.
Oh, God. Half the force has been murdered, so, yes, they're holding a funeral.
Best gather all the other half in an open space.
Yeah, in the single place, in the sewers even. So, yes, the ninja attacks. And in spite of the fact they break out the batons, it just isn't really enough.
Yeah, this person's killing us. They're a crack shot with a bow and arrow. Where's my stick? Yeah, I want a stick. Yeah, me too. Give me that stick.
It's like the opposite of the Untouchables. He pulls a gun, you pull a knife. He pulls a knife, you get the click clacks out.
He does that. You try to lick a battery and run away.
You'll confuse him to death. Oh, God. So
yeah.
they go to a rundown house and do an aggressive renovation. And by they, I think it's at this stage it's Good Ninja versus possessed aerobic Sarah Connor.
Yeah,
so
it's good chauvinist ninja versus bad hasn't yet declared his position on the Matter Ninja.
Yes, well, I mean, he, very equal opportunity. He possessed a woman. It was like, yes, this body is all I need to take down the fucking police, and we're supposed to side with Sho Kosugi. So,
yeah,
the most implausible thing in this movie happens as a non-white man is successfully able to surrender to armed police. There's a lot of police hate in this one, man. It's, look, we're living in troubled times, guys.
We're living in troubled times. It's time to attack the lawmakers. Lawmakers?
If you're next,
it's not right.
What you do when the criminals are answering the 999 calls?
Possess
Call
a
the Coast
lady.
Guard. Possess a lady.
With,
and try and do your own justice.
Honest judge, it was possession. Just behind her, just moving her arms about. She's unconscious. That didn't work either.
Oh, yes, and he's getting arrested, but I think there is a connection between Sho Kosugi, chauvinist Kosugi, and bloody Ryan's babe. What's his name? The fucking main guy? Our hero cop?
Oh, I don't know if I even wrote it down. I
called him something.
Guy that... I think, yeah, it just referred to as
Richard
Guy.
Gere.
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere, yes, they've got a deal. So he's like... I think he wigs him and he's like, don't worry about it. And it turns out what he's going to do is murder all the other cops and escape from the car. Oh, good.
Does he? Or does he knocks out the three? He knocks
them
three
out.
Of them,
then... using his acupuncture things. But one is to the left and they will shit their balls out through their mouths. So you've got to be careful with that acupuncture.
And who's left? My left or your left? He just laughs and he kicks their heads off. And
straight off their fucking bodies.
But we do learn, Paul, that the incredibly prejudiced and chauvinist Sho Kosugi is from Japan, Paul, and we know this because we see in a flashback his family or something is killed by the immortal ninja guy.
Yeah,
and he throws a shuriken into his eye. Now I can only ask and insert joke about hating women.
It's really going to slow him down, which is bad for all of us and progress. So, it turns out the only thing that can ninja a ninja is another ninja. So, but also, Love might be able to do that too, because she might be able to slip out of it due to her love for Richard Gere.
Probably,
but also maybe not, because she does beat the shit out of him.
Beats the fuck out of him finally.
But then decides actually that temple you mentioned does sound good. So
I will go there anyway.
Yeah, well, we will go there anyway, because that actually sounds really nice. So they go to this temple, this Japanese temple in the middle of the Las Vegas desert, which might well be out there. LA, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the movie does end, but not as soon as I wanted it to.
Well, they get to the temple, and his old body is there for some reason. I
think Sho Kosugi, the guy who really hates women, brought it there. He stole it. When he not stealthed, and kicked that cop into the bin. He stole the dead body.
That's right. He broke his way into a fucking a morgue to do that.
From two pathologists who basically look like the Weekend Warriors in the McNamara movie.
Love those guys. He does that, and it's like, hey, this body may be full of holes and only have one functional arm, but at least it's not a woman. Therefore, I shall occupy it. So he gets in.
A worthy attitude.
And an obstacle course manifests itself into the middle of the room they were just in, and so that they can have a bit of a fight. And at this stage, our main character, Sarah Connor, kind of ceases to exist for quite a while.
And they fight.
Yep.
The two ninjas.
The cops do find her, though. They find her passed out, and in spite of every instinct in their bodies, they don't just shoot her. So
there's a lot of anti-cop sentiment.
Come on, folks. Let's see what we can do that's new. So yeah. At one stage, then, he just spins into the floor and causing an earthquake. Yep. Oh no, he's gonna come out massive. I think he doesn't. He just comes out again, and it's like, haha! You didn't expect that? No, yeah.
All right then.
All right, let's keep fighting then. So they continue to fight until eventually the quote mark good ninja wins.
Yeah. And he does that, and the two Americans looking on, and who have been looking on for the last 10 minutes, and it occasionally cuts back to them going, "Do we do it? No, okay. Oh,
Gosh,
it's
I
over.
sure hope.
Fantastic.
Sure hope one of them wins.
Ooh, yeah, I sure hope they fight. Staring in the
and
right
eventually,
direction.
God bless him. And they do, and Cop gets to go off with his best gal. Sho Kosugi goes back to whatever it is he does outside of the 80s, and everyone's happy.
Yeah, including me.
And that's, including me, and that is your basic, run-of-the-mill, common or garden, Ninja 3 The Dominion. Domination.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
I don't know why I keep doing that. It's because of The Exorcist, because this is essentially an Exorcist film, and God bless it for that. Paul, what did you think of Exorcist Believer?
Paul, I had a lot of fun.
Yay!
I did message you 11 minutes in to say I would be happy
Show
if the
your
whole
support.
movie was people trying to kill him on a golf course, because it was very good.
Yes.
Especially that opening sequence, because I feel like they put a lot of work and a lot of thought into making the ninja do ninja stuff, and it was satisfying in the same way as, like a hitman plan going off. Just watching him do stuff, hiding in a palm tree, jumping into a helicopter, ninja stuff. And it was very silly at the same time. And like clearly effort, sort of like the Roger Corman stuff. Like,
yes,
there's effort and competence that goes into making this stuff that keeps it enjoyable. And it shouldn't be surprising just how much that counts.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a sequence that apparently they just kept building on. Like, it just kept happening, and they kept just like doing more stuff, and it's tremendous fun.
Yeah.
It is. It's a great deal of fun, and it's
That does make
very
sense
exciting.
considering he dies 17 times and then I'm up again. No, God.
But it's just delightful. You can imagine it playing to a room, just the sheer ridiculousness of him continuing to survive getting shot.
Yeah.
And then, it just gets so strange. Like, the first two films are quite straightforward action films.
Yeah.
Basically revenge dramas where ninja shows up and various action scenes happen. And the ninja scenes are, of course, characterized by a fair amount of absurdity and ridiculousness, and in particular just the ways in which the various equipments are used, such as a scene where a ninja gets his cowl snatched off of him, and then he blows like the little what do you call them, the things you're meant to put on the floor, cowl drops into his face, and they just lodge into his face like a shotgun.
Okay, nice.
Pure nonsense.
Yeah.
But this one is the first one to employ supernatural elements.
Yeah, okay. It is an interesting decision. And if it was there specifically to allow Sho Kosugi to even entertain the notion that a woman could do martial arts, then I'm all for it.
According to the director, which, maybe Sam Furstenberg via Rob Hill.
Who is it? Josh Trank. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. How did this befall us? But it demonstrates an interesting direction for canon, because I think canon starts off, the trilogy kind of maps out canon. The first movie, fairly competent but quite generic movie that has good entertainment value and some camp features. That's what got them on the map.
Yeah.
Second movie, oh shit, they have money now. So suddenly it's like the first one, but has ridiculous scale. Just a huge scale that's insane. And then the third one, they've kind of become a bit more abstract.
Yeah.
They've kind of just thought, we can do what we want, and we want to capitalize on anything that's popular. And that's why, yes, there's ninja stuff, but also we'll throw in The Exorcist.
Yeah.
10 years late.
They had the chance to do their Beau is Afraid, but instead they went and did their Ninja 3 Domination.
Well, God bless them for that. And all the wonderful things that entails, because it is pretty consistently entertaining in its ludicrousy.
It is.
Yeah.
I would say that the final 20 minutes was the only time that I thought, this probably could do with being half the length. By the time they'd gotten to the temple and had the fight, and the spirit had moved, they got to a point where the bad quote unquote ninja was standing on the like a dais, and I thought, he's trapped him with some sort of special ninja light, because he kind of goes like a Power Rangers bad guy, and then but then he possesses all of the monks there to engage in a
Yeah.
really lackluster fight.
Yeah.
And really, it could have ended there and been nice and concise. But compared to history holes of yesteryear, I didn't do a time check until an hour 15,
No.
which is really something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, the big problem with the finale is that they really sideline Lucinda Dickey's Christina Ryder character.
Yeah. Because she's great. She's very
great.
charming. And
she's very
likable.
fun. The performance is great. She's got a hell of a physique. She's got like good shoulders. You know, it's not like they've just, got someone who's got, a sort of beach body and sort of. She looks like she could do this stuff.
Yeah.
She looks quite imposing, and I think that's really great. But near the end of the movie, they get the demon out of her body and put him into his own body so that Sho Kosugi can presumably have a fight that he can believe in. Assuming the quote's correct. So that look kind of disappears, and she just kind of stands around after that, and it's such a shame because before then she's really quite an interesting character. She's got a fair amount of agency, and it's fun to just see her sort of get possessed by this thing, because she has a fairly... Imagine curating this today to young crowds. I think people will be entertained by her sort of anti-authority kind of fuck cops stance that she has near the beginning. They will be frustrated by her dropping that in order to date a cop, but they will enjoy the fact that she's, on some level manifesting her hatred of cops by murdering all of his colleagues. That plays quite well, but then, ultimately the police come in and save the day, and she has to just sort of step back and just sort of watch it happen, and that's a bit of a shame, because until then it's a lot of fun.
Did the police... I don't remember the police even coming
in.
I just remember the ninjas.
No, you're right. It's the ninjas who sort it out between themselves, Our cop guy just basically comes in, wakes her up, and then just is there for her to hang off of whilst the finale unfolds. So
at least, I guess she does stab the ninja. She delivers...
She does.
It's not quite the killing blow, because he comes back 8 more times, but...
Yes.
But it definitely tips
a
things.
Killing blow.
Yeah. Sho Kosugi, who's been struggling to hold his own against a one-armed dead ninja. They do let her come in. They let her come in and do one thing, which is conciliatory, I suppose.
It is. As main character, though, it would have been really cool if she'd picked up the sword and sort of found the power within herself to defeat her former possessor, using aerobic skills.
Yeah. She could have invented Jim Catter.
She had the real strength within her the whole time and didn't need to learn anything off some fucking dude.
Which is a shame. Because, she was great.
Yeah.
I particularly, she looked very cool in the makeup when she was the Super Saiyan ninja. And the sex scene as well, when she sort of...
Oh, yeah.
She takes a dominant role, and it's really sexy.
Yeah.
The way that this guy just crumbles. He is putty
fucking Richard
in
Gere.
her hands. Fucking Richard Gere. I knew he'd do it, the little dick.
Little piece of shit.
She's great, and I really loved her. And it must have been galling, if the quote is to be believed, it must have been galling to have to work opposite Sho Kosugi.
I don't necessarily want to tarnish the reputation of Sho Kosugi too much, because he accomplished a fair amount in his day, having been a very prominent Asian actor in a sort of predominantly Western and quite white medium. And the fact it's quite a cool narrative that the first film is Franco Nero, an Italian white man who nevertheless is dubbed an American and presented as American.
Yeah, okay.
Is the lead in the first one with him as like the villain, and then the second one he's the lead. And if Rob Hill is to be believed, he is the first solely credited Asian lead in an American movie, because I guess Bruce Lee shared starring credit with Jim Kelly. And
it's a great achievement, but the sour point must be remembered.
If he did say that, then that's a shitty thing to say, obviously. And terrible bit of gatekeeping on his behalf. And you can't really say that people didn't know better, because people did know better. Somebody taught Priscilla Presley how to do karate, and she fucking married him. It's like a badass word.
Oh yeah.
And all sorts of stuff was going on. So
that's cool. I guess Sho Kosugi is probably at worst is probably
Bruce Lee
just
had female students.
Well, there we go. Sho Kosugi is probably just like the most outspoken of the misogynists in Hollywood, or canon isn't technically Hollywood, I suppose, but
or just got credited to it. And Furstenberg probably also went along with it back in the day, as did probably Golan and Globus.
Yeah.
But he's the one who's been quoted. Nevertheless, it's a fun movie with a slightly frustrating ending that I would highly recommend.
Yeah, I would still recommend it. It's very fun and charming.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into quick firing.
Let's do it.
Quick fire.
Dramatic music, mate, as the guy picks up his sword at the beginning, and then we cut to the other guy enjoying a quality game of golf.
Well, I mean, just for my one, speaking of dramatic music, I just love that this movie has a synthesizer score by credit.
It's John Carpenter, mate.
Yeah. A rose by any other name would smell as John Carpenter.
What? Get out. Okay.
Canon Group logo right at the beginning. It's all you need to know that you're in for a fun time.
All you need, mate. At 5:44, as the cops take the call to the golf course, the music switches to a triplet beat, and it's fucking great. When it goes, it switches to.
Copy, 451 at the golf course. Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Got me going, mate.
I can't wait to sample
juice is
that,
flowing. Check that timestamp, white boy.
Check that fucking timestamp, you fucking white boy. I will. I actually will. Speaking of white boys, that fucking golf course with the mountains and the fucking prairies going beyond range and settlers set up on hole 9, it's ridiculously audacious, and I loved it.
Same. Look, there's a lot of stunts, mate. There's stunts and action.
Action.
Flying a cop car, bike, and cop into the lake. Stunts.
Do it.
I also like the sequence where he's the ninja. The bad ninja is I'll rephrase, the one who hasn't had any prerogative, chauvinist / misogynistic statements directly attributed to him. He's standing on top of a cop car, and he stabs down to kill one of the cops.
Yes.
And then he punches down to knock out the other one. Fucking great.
Yeah. Amazing. His head bleeds. I also like in that sequence, he throws something into the barrel of one of the cop's guns and it explodes in his hand.
Yeah, just like a blow dart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's cool.
He's using all his little tricks.
Yeah, it's you've got the L2 wheel selecting your special technique, one of which was climbing and hiding in the palm tree as the chopper comes in. Which is well ninja, mate. Loved it.
Super ninja.
It's very satisfying, and then he just jump onto the helicopter and dispatches everybody in there, which is also very fun.
And also, it demonstrates that our lead character is ninja compatible because she climbs stuff like that too.
No, this film is smart.
This film is smart. Speaking of Lucinda Dickey, I really fucking loved the 80s ass setup she had at her fucking apartment. Like the furniture in there, just so many details. The arcade game, the colours, like it was so 80s. It looked like it had been filmed in the noughties and set in the 80s. That's how 80s it was, and it just immediately made me think of the sort of setup in American Rickshaw. Or what was it called? The other name, something Tiger. I can't remember, but yeah, American Rickshaw. Yeah. It had that vibe, and I loved it. I want to live there and also professionally pull a rickshaw.
And live with you, Lucinda Dickey, who for me was rocking a Laura Dern-esque look in her boots, just without the jungle shorts, but the same sort of vibe, I guess, except she's way more built.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
She's great. Her introduction, I think, which is the 13-minute mark, the track, it pretty much it's a not necessarily a hard cut, but it's a cut from the ninja dying on one of the times to her climbing this pole, and I think it's a track she's listening to on a boombox,
Yeah,
it's
a
a
massive
very-
boombox that's louder than gunfire.
There's a fever running through my heart and soul. I'm so hungry for someone to take me home. Love light, I can taste it in the night. I need love.
She should be a tradie in Australia. Because they're great and I love them.
Yeah.
Just like cops. See, we've both sides. Now,
Both sides, eventually.
It's my biography. Yeah, and the track also at once feels very Menahem Golan and also feels very much of exactly the kind of fucking movie I was expecting this to be. It's
Yeah.
Once again, it's very breaking out of prison, baby, breaking, and just
Yeah.
it's just it's a fucking canon movie.
Yeah.
My limited experience of tells me so.
Yeah. No, it absolutely is. And it's just not going to let you down. There's some quite stunning visual effects sequences as it copies... It seems to be copying sort of Chinese ghost story kind of things at various points. Various sort of King Hu directed or otherwise sort of martial arts movies that mix in supernatural elements, like Chinese Ghost Story, I think was one of them. And there's a sequence inside the flat where the arcade suddenly shoots lasers into her face, which was very pretty.
Fucking love that.
Very
scene.
attractive and striking. It was really quite cool. And like the setup towards it and the mist inside the room, the whole aesthetic was just really dramatic and cool.
Oh, it looked amazing. It looked like a sort of mix between Tron, the bits of Beyond the Black Rainbow I was awake for. It was amazing. I must specify,
Exactly
not
like that.
because it was dull. I was a tired man, and I think I had a cheeky couple of beers at 11 p.m. and then we decided to put on Beyond the Black Rainbow. Didn't last very long.
Didn't work out.
Yeah, but it looked amazing. The colours were so vivid, and Lucinda Dickey's great. I feel like we didn't mention Lucinda Dickey by name very much in the first 45 minutes of the episode, so I'm just going to refer to everything through the perspective of Lucinda Dickey from now on.
To be fair, a lot of the first 45 minutes of the episode was me swearing and mumbling, but then again, what's new?
Ooh, for new listeners.
For new listeners, that's pretty much right.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Welcome. Welcome. I really liked when they're talking about... when they're discussing going to see this Japanese quote-unquote man.
James Hong.
But she says, oh, come on, I don't believe in any of that stuff.
For your information, Billy, I don't believe in demons, ghosts, spirits, or any of that kind of stuff.
Well, neither do I. But when you blank out, we don't know what you believe in, do we?
I really like that line. It's true. I know. I don't fucking know. It could be a possessed ninja, killing the cops who killed him. I don't know.
It could be. I don't know. I saw that in a movie once. It's called
I
Ninja
hated
3. I just love the cheesiness of that line. Is just so great. Maybe you don't believe that, but maybe you believe it when you're asleep.
It's also tediously logical. It does everything.
I love. Okay, this is. Oh God, when she attacks the guys in the health spa, the women are quite extraordinary. Their performances, very much as if they haven't actually been written. They've just been told roughly what should happen in the scene, because they're in this hot tub with this fucking cop who looks like George Costanza's dad, and I think our ninja lady, Lucinda Dickey, knocks on the door.
Oh, I'll get it. You guys just sit there. I swear. Who could this be? This is crazy.
Just like vamping on the concept of this being unusual, and then that just continues well into the scene of who is this lady? What's she doing?
What the hell kind of place is this?
Beat it, bitch.
What's going on?
Oh, jeez. Go ahead, kid. The son of a bitch is all yours. Oh, let's split.
No, I want to watch. This guy's a real jerk. Boy, you said it. Let's get out of here.
But what I specifically loved about that was that kind of vamping takes on the tone of who's she adding herself to this threesome? We're all about free love, but within limits. And I thought
this was just between us.
Yeah. It's very good. I did appreciate the Exorcist vibes when she starts twirling, like doing somersaults in the chains, and how very clearly it becomes a mannequin.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
They just didn't worry too much about it. They're like, well, people are going to know it's not her.
People are going to fucking love this. Leave it alone. What did I mean by the phone shooting up was a surprise?
There was, I think when things in her apartment are getting possessed, the phone Evil Dead's into the air.
That's it. She goes to grab it and it just suddenly flies into the sky and it made me go, ah!
There's almost the tin whistle.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Love that.
Yeah. My last one is I thought the cat and mouse fighting in the wooden house with lots of falling through, jumping up through, and punching and kicking floorboards was really fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a good sequence.
Visceral wood punching and wood bursting. Good.
I guess
sequence.
my final one would just be the audacity of the whole thing. Just the constant sort of, oh Christ, are they actually doing this now? Kind of feel of it, which is exactly what you want from a cult experience and is exactly what you can usually expect from a canon film production. Yeah. And it's just what makes those films so much fun to watch, especially sort of with people and in crowds.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is how it kind of went. I couldn't see if any of the Three Ninja films played at the Scala, but the reason I think maybe it didn't is because I recently found out that for quite a lot of the 80s, the Canon Group owned the Prince Charles Cinema.
Really?
Yes, which makes a fair amount of sense. So maybe Canon exclusively used to show stuff in the Prince Charles in order to get people to come to their cinema.
We're all Menahem's children.
We are all
Verily.
children of Menahem. My God.
Wow, that's
influence.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really have to emphasize how enjoyable it is when you have a film of this caliber with some competence. Because the equivalent is the giant spider invasion, which has 45 minutes of a spider very slowly moving around, or the Sasquatch, the caveman one that we saw recently.
Yeah,
similar thing. They have the premise, they work it for about 20 minutes to see what they can get out of it, and then have a very slow moving towards the city sequence.
Yeah.
And occasionally they'll make it exciting by putting in some stock footage of riots, and sometimes not. But in this, they had the means, they had the technology to make Cyborg Cop.
They did. They were able to rebuild him, and they did. So I'm gonna have to move the phone a bit for now because it is time to check in on the OG team.
The OG team can be women.
Oh yeah.
You see. That's how you do
Women
it.
are well capable of being the OG team, and I love that. We had a fair few number of likes, but only one interaction on X, which
Sho
was from
Kosugi.
Oh no, we're doomed. This is from the Logshire Press. I love that you're watching something so bad. Well, it wasn't that bad. We've certainly done worse.
We've certainly done worse. I mentioned 2 examples in the last minute. And I'd watch this again over any Adam Sandler, that's for sure.
Yeah, this was an absolute delight.
Yeah.
Nothing on Meta.
Stupid fucking names of social media now. It's ridiculous.
I know. Not like back in my day when everything was called MySpace. Literally everything. And it was easy. It was MySpace, Paul.
Yeah,
and they took it from me.
At least it means something, you know? It used to mean something back in the noughties.
The golden age of things meaning things.
Well, it's like insurance companies just changing their names to like Aviva. Like, what does it even mean now?
Just call yourself Insurance Place.
Yellow Insurance Place.
Oh god, my last hope is the Patreons. No. Nothing.
Yeah.
Which to me suggests that there's some chronic underwatching of Ninja 3, the Domination.
Well, it wasn't available on YouTube for me in Australia, so I had to. I looked everywhere, and it was so difficult to find because even Amazon Prime and Google Play and that have different restrictions in like licensing and regulations for Australia. But I found it in some sort of like film archive, purportedly a film archive. It was archive.org or something.
Okay.
So I watched it there, and it was pretty decent quality as well. So if you're in Australia or somewhere else that has just whack, it's going to come out once Coriolis Monster comes out. That's what I've been told.
It's going to come out as a double feature.
Yeah.
I was able to find it inside my Eureka box set of the Ninja Trilogy, which I highly recommend because let's get to our one better thing. The one better thing. It's the whole trilogy. The whole trilogy is an absolute delight. Okay. Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja. My flatmate John, who is chronically unemployed, when I said to him, hey, the podcast film this week is Revenge of the Ninja, is Ninja 3, The Domination. Might be fun if we watch that together. He was like, yeah, sure. And then spent the day watching the other two. So every time I passed into the living room, he was just part way through another Ninja movie. And he loved them. They are tremendous fun.
I can envision that being a thing. I'm ready to believe that. And I may have to own it now, just in case we ever do Ninja 3 The Domination again. You'll know what my secret movie is next year.
Is it the one you bought? Might be the one I bought.
The only one. I think I've bought one or two over the years, and they're always ones that I've had no interest in buying, but... Sorry?
Guardians.
There we go, yeah.
You've got to support the Soviet state.
God, I feel like I bought Journey to China, which is why I hated it so much, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that sucked. That was an unfortunate one to buy.
Yeah. But my one better thing is also this.
I bought Howling 2 after the episode, and Surf Ninjas.
Okay.
And
Surf Ninjas gives you a lot of good memories.
And Guardians. Yeah, there's all sorts of Australia-related memories in there, my friend.
They all sound the same, Australians. Who even are they?
Oh. I love each one of them. Especially, but not limited to, Mel Gibson. Which is why I hate cops as well. You can hate cops in a bad way.
Yeah, you can come at that from both sides, can't you? From,
it depends on the cop.
Being an anti-Semite and not being an anti-Semite.
What a gloriously rich world we live in. Paul, what was your one better thing? This?
It was this. Hooray!
Great! That was the one better thing. The one better thing. Paul, how can people find out about Ninja 3 The Dominion, but also us? Domination!
You can find out about all three of those things on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, because I think you can piece together bits of our personality, mostly Paul Salt's now, from the various tweets and the calls we put out for the OG team. That's right. If you've seen one of these films, if you're listening to this right now and you said, I've seen Ninja 3 The Dominion and The Domination and Demolition back to back to back, and I have so many good things to say, why didn't they ask me? It's because we don't have your personal email address, and we had to stop taking those. So if you go onto Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, the call will be there. Might I suggest Patreon? Because not only do you get the honour of becoming a patron and getting hundreds and hundreds of hours of exclusive content, such as some Let's Plays, even. There's some Let's Plays on Patreon that we did. Remember that?
At least two of them.
At least two. Two separate ones, consisting of or comprising more than one episode per thing. So it's just cashback from the Pool Boys. Yeah. But the extra bonus is you get to give us money. But it's not very much. Yeah. It's £1 a month.
Absolutely.
Or more. And for £1 a month.
And for all that. Or more. And for all that, you can enjoy the wonders of the pause. Or more.
Or more.
If you've seen it, and you come clean it, then you've OG teamed it. I'm Paul or more.
I love it when you say that.
And remember, the one good thing about Ninja 3, The Domination, is that Sho Kosugi did eventually let Lucinda Dickey on set. We're very sorry to everyone we've slandered in the last possibly hour, maybe more.
Maybe.
That's right. He slagged off cops in the first 5 minutes, but this is an hour and 5 minute long episode. That's right, F is for fake. Fuck the police, bye!
Wait, no!